Central America. He was a key host as president of Guatemala of the Latin America Summit that took place just in December. I'd like to welcome Kim. He shortly after our summit had a personal state visit with President Trump to discuss many issues. Please welcome His Excellency Jimmy Morales of Guatemala. Mr. President.
Buenos días en español. Good morning en inglés. Annyeong hasimnika
en coreano. In Korean.
La esperanza es desear que algo suceda.
Hope is wishing something to happen. Faith is believing that it will happen. And courage is making it happen. But peace, what is the peace?
Before speaking of that,
2020 de la UPF, para hablar de la
it is an honor to be at this UPF 2020 World Summit to talk about building peace with interdependence, mutual prosperity, and universal values. I thank the organizers for this privilege, especially its founder, Dr. Hak Jahan Moon, the mother, which has extended to us this cordial invitation. So, what is peace? Paz, peace. Well, peace is much more than 3 letters in Spanish, paz. I will use its 3 letters in Spanish to talk about how peace, paz, can be built. The letter P, which it begins with, we will use to talk about padecer, which means suffer or suffering. Lately, I have heard a lot about tolerance in order to achieve or maintain peace, and that is fine. But I think we can go beyond tolerance to achieve peace. I mean, suffering, padecer, that is, being willing to suffer in order to achieve peace. But the question is, how far are we willing to suffer to achieve peace? Christian teaching is clear and strong on this subject. Christianity teaches to suffer to the point of death, if necessary. I would then like to turn to the second letter of the word paz, peace, which is A, and I will use it to speak of amor, which means love. And I will speak of a love without limits, which allows me to illustrate the extent to which a man can suffer for love and build peace. To build peace. For love, Jesus was willing to go to death, a death that was very severe and painful. And there is no greater sign of love than to give one's life for another. The Apostle Paul tells us that a person with love is patient and kind, because the one who loves is not envious, nor boastful, nor proud. He is not selfish, does not easily get angry, and does not hold grudge. We can find this love magnified in the words of Jesus before he died, when he implored forgiveness for those who had crucified him, and says in his prayer, "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing." Being able to ask for revenge or justice, he asked for forgiveness to his aggressors. I ask myself, did they really not know what they were doing? Well, maybe they didn't know that it was the Son of God who they were crucifying, but they did know that they were crucifying an innocent man. Jesus didn't just die for the wicked, he died begging for forgiveness for those who killed him. So I want to talk about the way to build peace. You have to be tolerant, but not also that. Sometimes you have to love your neighbor and be willing to suffer for them. And in spite of everything, forgive those who offend and hurt you.
Nos falta aún la Z.
We are still missing the last letter in the word paz in Spanish, the Z. And I will use it with the word zanjar, which means extract, which means to solve an issue in a definitive way. It is also remove difficulties. So, if we add to the willingness to suffer the love that forgives all, and add to it the action of removing all that blocks us from building and maintaining peace, and we commit ourselves to bring about change in millions of people, I believe that we can speak of personal peace, national peace, and world peace, and universal peace. But of course, we must be willing to do and not just talk. To make an example, to illustrate what I mean, I'll tell you the story of a mouse colony. It says, in one house there was an old cat that no longer hunted mice. So in that house, a large colony of mice grew. The owner of the house realized the problem and brought in a young mouse hunting cat. In less than a week, the new cat had wiped out half of the mouse colony. So the older mice called an emergency meeting and exposed the problem. The most intelligent of all said, "I have the solution. One of us has to tie a bell around the cat's neck, so that when the cat moves, the sound of the bell warns us of its proximity, so we know its distance." Everyone said, "Excellent idea. Will you put it on?" "No," answered the mouse that made the proposal. "I gave the idea. The biggest of us must put the bell on, the most strong one." "It's not fair," said the big one. "Even though it's true that I'm the bigger mouse, the stronger mouse, compared to the cat, I'm still a mouse. Let the fastest of us put it on." Everyone turned to the fastest one, to the fastest mouse. But the fastest one said immediately, "It's not fair, because compared to the speed of the cat, I am slow. I wouldn't dare. Let's leave it in the hands of the bravest one of us." They all turned to see the bravest mouse. But this one said to them, "One moment. I am brave, but not stupid. So I won't put it on. I won't put that bell on him." So one by one, they took a step back, and nobody dared to put the bell on the cat. The end of the story, you already know. The cat killed all the mice. The moral or teaching of this story is that no matter how good the ideas are, if there is no bravery and courage, and no matter how many times we talk about these ideas, if there is no bravery and courage to carry them out, everything will remain in words or ideas, and the end will be tragic. To talk about building peace, besides being willing to amar, love, to the point of padecer, suffering, and zanjar, extract every bad thing, you have to have the courage to do what others only dare to talk about. That is why I take the liberty of congratulating the founders of the UPF, because they are doing what others only talk about. They are investing their resources. They are investing their resources so that world leaders can talk, but also do our part in every part of our responsibility. I would like to say goodbye and thank the Universal Peace Federation for inviting me to participate in this World Summit that brings together the leaders of 170 countries from the 5 continents. I have traveled from Guatemala accompanied by my wife, my boss, I would say to her, Patricia Marroquín de Morales, and national leaders to tell you all that is possible to inherit a better world for future generations if we all do our part. Mother Moon, thank you for your example and your courage. And to all her family, to always be in front of this noble cause. And to all of you, my best wishes for the prosperity of your families and nations. Thank you very much. God bless you.